been clear that Disney has had a social agenda when it comes to their own movies, as well as Marvel and Star Wars movies. And now we see that Kevin Feige admits that if Marvel Studios doesn't entertain first, their social messaging will fall on deaf ears. Feige's admission came during an appearance on the Movie Business podcast with host Jason Squire. He asked him what the secret is to Marvel's success. As part of his answer, Feige detailed how the company goes through postmortems where they examine what they could have done better at the release of each motion picture or television series. He then detailed, and I guess to distill it down of what lessons are learned is to entertain the audience at every turn. I think that's always been the way, Feige added. Thankfully, you're making the kind of movies that you love to see that also goes into entertaining yourself, which is what we also try to do here at Marvel Studios. Well, it's obvious that they're trying to entertain themselves. Feige admits and claims that the main lesson the company has learned is to entertain the audience at every turn, and if you don't do so, their social indoctrination efforts will fail. The company's action over recent years indicates that they are much more interested in pushing their social indoctrination efforts and antagonizing audiences rather than entertaining. And we see down here, they use She-Hulk Attorney at Law as an example. The actress Tatiana Maslany, who played She-Hulk, admitted to even exist as She-Hulk is like a FU. Speaking with Variety following the conclusion of the show's first season on Disney+, Maslany was asked if she was expecting to face trolls when she signed on to become She-Hulk. Reading the script, it was so true. There's so much resistance to a woman just existing in that space of superheroes. Bullcrap. The She-Hulk has existed for years. People love the She-Hulk, the early comics. People love Black Widow. Even in the movies, people have loved Black Widows. To a point, people have loved Scarlet Witch. The reason that nobody liked your show was because of the woke agenda that it tried to push, and because, frankly, it was a terribly written show. It's why I also feel it's important there's such an entitlement to space held by certain people, and even to exist as She-Hulk is like an FU, and I love that. Well, keep on loving it, because your show got really, really bad ratings, and I doubt that it's going to see much more. And the show's head writer, Jessica Gao, admitted that she really loves trolling the trolls. Well, everybody hated that about your stupid show, and that's why it got bad reviews and why nobody watched it. She-Hulk and its creators are not the only ones to eschew the idea of entertaining the audience. Thor Love and Thunder director Taika Waititi told audiences he planned on ruining the Thor mythos with the film when it was first announced that Natalie Portman would return in the role of Jane Foster. A Marvel Comics reader responded to Marvel Comics writer Jason Aaron, sharing his incitement that the gender swap Thor storyline he injected into the comics would get adapted to the big screen by Waititi. He wrote, "It's due to your Marvel work that this mess is possible. Your writing ruined Thor, his mythos, and his characters, so no, I do not want to see this film if we are truly getting a Jane Foster Thor." And Taika Waititi famously tweeted back, "I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby." And he kind of did. Feige himself has also previously revealed that he eschewed the idea of entertaining the audience first in order to push social indoctrination programming when it came to WandaVision. Feige confirmed Doctor Strange was cut from the show. It would have been so cool to see Doctor Strange, but it would have taken away from Wanda. We didn't want the end of the show to be commoditized and go to the next movie. Here's the white guy. Let me show you how power works. That wasn't what we wanted to say. So that's why they removed Doctor Strange, because you can't have a straight white male that shows a woman what she needs to do. The Marvel Studios head honcho also revealed that the reason Eternals was moved to the top of their list of films was due to the company's social engineering agenda. while addressing why the company decided to change the races, genders, and sexualities of nearly all the characters. He told Variety, well, the notion of switching up the genders, sexualities, and ethnicities of the characters from the comics was baked in initially. That was part of what Nate Moore was really advocating for in moving Eternals to the top of the list for us to start working on. Exactly, so they could push their social agendas, so they could save lives by having two men kiss. Didn't make much money though, did it? And you can see here Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi are three of the worst performing Marvel Cinematic Universe films of all time without even factoring in inflation. Of the 30 films the company has released, only The Incredible Hulk and Captain America, the First Avenger have lower global grosses, which I don't understand. Captain America, that was a great movie. Also, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Thor Love and Thunder did not perform nearly as well as the previous films in their respective franchises. The Disney Plus shows are also routinely beat by Netflix in the ratings, and the more recent releases perform worse than the initial ones, as seen in She-Hulk Attorney at Law. If anyone is to start taking Kevin Feige seriously again, he needs to actually start putting his money where his mouth is and delivering what he's promising, because there's a mountain of evidence that shows Marvel Studios has not learned the lesson that you need to entertain the audiences first. Rather, they seem to have learned the opposite and will push their social messaging at the sake of entertaining the audience. In conclusion, I think this article is 100% spot on. Disney, along with Marvel and Lucasfilm, have for the last 10 years tried to change things up, tried to push an agenda, tried to wokenize everything, inserted gay characters where gay characters did not need to be, race and gender swapped characters that did not need to be race or gender swapped, and just generally tried to push this ideological social justice on all of its fans. And it's clear that it doesn't work, that the movies are now making less money, that the shows on Disney Plus that they tout as being the greatest shows ever clearly are not, because they're getting beat in the ratings by shows on Netflix, shows on Amazon, shows on Hulu. I mean, the Disney Plus shows are pretty much at the bottom of the list when it comes to everything as far as ratings go. So I think it's time for Disney. I think it's time for Kevin Feige, Kathleen Kennedy to wake up and smell the crap that they've been shoveling and do better. Write movies that are entertaining and don't contain a bunch of woke bullcrap. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications, and I will talk to you next time.